In this lesson, we're going to be learning Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran. Pretty good tune for beginners. It's pretty basic. It's got 3 parts, and it'd be in the key of D major. So we're going to have a D major chord, and I like to finger pick this. It's not really a finger picking in the sense of finger picking arpeggios, but it's kind of got that feel. I'm just plucking the strings like this. Okay, so we have a D, an A major, a G major. You can play it like that as well, without the pinky. We're gonna have an E minor chord, an A7 chord, and a B minor chord. So if you're a beginner, this is gonna be the toughest chord for you because we got the bar chord in there. So the song starts out with this verse material, intro and verse material. It's got this little lick in it. So it just repeats that pattern. Now, if you can't do, we have this little slur hammer-on within our D major chord here. So you're going to pluck without your first finger on, and you're going to hammer it down on the 2nd fret of the G string. And then we're going to cut the sound off, but it's also like a little percussive dead note effect. So I'm just kind of slapping my fingers lightly on the strings to stop it. But you're doing it in time, so. Now, this part is a little tricky. We're playing a D major chord with the F sharp on the bottom. So it gives it the illusion that the chord is changing, although it's really not. It's just you're putting the 3rd of the chord on the bottom. So it's like a bass line, kind of. I mean, technically, if you were playing with a bass player, you could stay on the D and just play it like that, but it sounds a lot nicer if you add the bass on the bottom. So I'm doing that with my thumb. If you can't do that, you could switch and play the 3rd on the bottom with your first finger. So I'm going from here, I'm switching these 2 fingers, if you see that. And then just be careful not to pluck the high E string. Okay, so we got our D with our hammer on. Then our F sharp, our D with the F sharp on the bottom. We go to G, A. So far. Okay, I'm not actually picking the high E string at all. So I'm on the first chord, I'm just picking with these 3 fingers. Then I'm using my thumb on the low E string, still picking D, G, and B with these fingers. Same thing here. Then on the A, my thumb switches down to playing the root or bass note on the A string. So. Then here, it's just a hammer on from the 2nd fret of the G string to the 4th fret, and then you play the 2nd fret of the D string. It's a real quick hammer on, almost like a slide, and then it repeats. Now, you could play this with a pick. You could also play the pick. So that's the verse, and it's the chorus material as well. You just don't do the little hammer-on thing at the end. That thing. So it's just... Okay, so there's only really just 2 more parts. So let's take a look at the bridge next. Okay, so the bridge is going to start with an E minor chord, and it's going to be pretty much all downstrokes, or if you're playing with pick or you're just plucking. So it's going to be E minor, A7 to D. So that goes, the first 2 bars are E minor, A7, D. Then we go E minor again. Then we just go to the A7. Okay, then we go E minor, A7, B minor. Then we go E minor again, and then we go, and there's a stop. That's A7 there. So again for the bridge, E minor, A7, D, E minor, A7, E minor, A7, B minor, E minor, A7. Okay, if you were strumming that, it'd be all downstrokes really. Okay, and then I think it goes back to a chorus or verse some. Now there's a little tag at the end of some of these. The chord changes go by pretty quick. It's B minor, A, G, E minor. I'm sorry. B minor, A, G, D, E minor, A7, D. Sounds like this. That's the only other part, so you could strum that or pick that. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Make sure always when you're learning tunes to go and listen to the song. If you don't have a recording of the song, an MP3 or a CD or what have you, some recording, then go to YouTube and search the song title, Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran, and listen to the original song. It's always important when you're learning a song to listen to the original recording. So that's it for Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran.